Hello, Jamie. This is Michael Gray. Good to meet you. Thank you for checking out my video. It's going to be longer, right? I apologize for the length. I've tried a few times to reduce it. This is what I got. Um, so also honor your book, Stealing Fire, was massive influential on me and showed me that people could take these things and turn them into something meaningful other than the ancient traditions and things like that, and make sense and scientific understandings of them. Okay, so what I want to talk with you about is the three brains model that I'm developing, and outline it, show you kind of how it works, and then right, and kind of give you a real life experiment that we could try during the class if you're open to it. And so I didn't want to do this on the thing, right, on the question thing, because it would be too know-it-all Ned type of situation, and right, and I might not be here next week, so you can do this while I'm gone, ideally, and then whatever. So let me explain what it is. So I was teaching meditation, and it wasn't working for some people. I was like, why isn't it working? And then I saw this video from Jordan Peterson, and he said, when you ask people to close their eyes and look inwardly and ask them to point to their sense of self, they'll point to one of three places: their brain, their heart, or their gut, right above the navel, somewhere in there. And usually it's about 80% of people are here, 30% of people are here in the heart, and like 10 to 15% are in the gut. I know those percentages don't add up, but that's the percentages he gave. And he said, and it's well documented in the literature. Haven't been able to find it in the literature. I'm sure it's there. Sociology and psychology is not 100% my field. Mathematics, I could find it, but whatever. And I haven't looked super hard. But I did my own experiments. Like, I would talk to people like sweet old ladies and be like, why isn't it working? Close your eyes, follow your breath, point to where you are. And usually what it was is they were here. And I was teaching nostril breathing via Vipassana, S.N. Ganoka's method of just following the breath in and out of the nostrils. And what happened was, right, if I changed the breathing pattern and told them to focus on that center, it worked much better for them, right? So this is a phenomena that I think is like it should be the basis of human experience. Like, where are you? Find you, right? From the subjective side. Like, it blows my mind that every time I do this with someone, that they end up in a different place. So I'll just do the little technique, and then, yeah. So I have a whole meditation on it and blah, blah, blah. But I'll just do it so you can verify for yourself and then test it on others. And then eventually, hopefully, maybe you can do it in the class, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So close your eyes, right? Close your eyes, follow your breath, breathing in through the nostrils, out through the mouth. Just do 2 or 3 of these, breathing in through the nostrils, out through the mouth, in through the nostrils, out through the mouth, right? Now move your awareness inwardly. And I want you to ask yourself the question, where am I in the body? And then just gently move your awareness to that location. Maybe placing a hand on the body to indicate to yourself where you are. Now the meditation would go that you would just keep your awareness there and continue to breathe, right? And then your breath pattern would change based upon where you chose. Okay, so coming back out of the meditation, and that's it, right? And what you'll find is people are in different locales in the body, like their actual objective, subjective reference frame of self is in a different location. Right. And I was like, well, why the hell is that happening? Well, right. Like, where are the nerves in the body? Well, there's the bunch here, the bunch here, and the bunch here. That's where most of the nerves are in the body, and then the spinal cord. Right. And so, and you have peripherals and stuff. But, And then if you go in and you start studying this, each one acts as its own brain. And the cells, there's different cells that don't necessarily communicate with the other ones. Like there's like 50,000 in the heart. They're starting to figure it out in the gut. And so what's happening is, however it happens, people begin to identify with these different centers. And so my hypothesis is that is fundamentally changing the way we perceive the world, like personality types and all these types of things, and how physiological functioning relates to respiratory breath patterns that would then regulate the nervous system slightly different. And so it goes, more gut breathing is better for people who are down here. More nostril breathing is better for people who are up here. And in the heart folks, those people are nostril mouth. And nostril mouth seems to work with everybody, right? And so this is my little model, right? This is the painting. So gut, earth, or heart, and water, brain, and then the spinal column and breath is the thing that connects them. So this is it's a deep part in all cultures and religions around the elements, right? But I think they're these parts in the body. And this is an experience I had where I dropped out during the Vipassana. It's an experience I've had ever since I was a little kid. And I just understood this part of me and psychology and things. And like if you go back, the best description of it's in the Vedas. If you go back that far, I learned to read Sanskrit and all this type of stuff. And so this is the model that I'm building. Okay, so and you could go into the microtubules in the brain and say that there's a quantum model, or maybe you don't need that. Maybe there's just these fields, because we know there are these fields around the heart center, around the brain center, et cetera. And their way they're communicating, I would argue, when you get into a flow state, they become coherent and sync up. And this is where you get new information. Like this is where it's coming from, these different fields that are being generated that are picking up from the surrounding environment and all these things. So it's a whole deep theory and all these types of things. And we can talk about that. But I'm trying to get this under 10 minutes. So the thing I would like you to do is do that. Do that to yourself. Then go to your kid or your daughter or your wife, some random people on the street, if you're up to that, right? And just ask them to do that. Close their eyes, follow their breath, get them centered, and say, find yourself in the body, and where are you in the body, right? And they'll point to one of these three places, and then there's a small percentage of people who are like, I don't know, maybe they're lying to themselves, maybe they're lying to you, like you can't tell, but it's a very small number, like it's less than 5% of people. You randomly run into them. They're like, I don't know where I am. I'm a big toe. And you're like, okay, outlier. And so like, but most people, it's like here, like they get it here, right here. And then some people, you'll be like, a lower percentage, like I'm in the gut. And so what I would recommend and what I'm wanting you to do is multiple things, right? Like I'm wanting you to give me any research that you know in this direction. Does this correspond to the flow archetypes? And would you do an experiment like in the class? Like just it'll take literally 2-3 minutes, and you just, get them to close their eyes, follow their breath, go inwardly, in through the nose, out through the mouth. That's kind of the balancing point. And just, ask them where they are, show of hands. Are you in this center? Right? Like I'm in the brain, I'm in the heart, I'm in the gut. Afterwards, don't prime them. And then, or some undetermined thing that I can't choose, right? Or unknown. And, right. And then ask them what flow type they are. And then you can see the percentages. Like I know it's a very rudimentary test, but I think that would validate kind of that there is a connection. And I know that there is, right? Like I have a good intuition that this is what's coming up. And you got to test the hypothesis, and then you got to say why. Are people actually breathing differently in the body? Is there awareness affecting the regulation of the nervous system differently, et cetera? And you can get as detailed into it. And so that's kind of what I'm building. I'm building a research lab, psychedelic center, the Frequency Genome Project based, I just basically borrowed your name, but it's frequency. Like I'm trying to find these frequencies and how to balance the physiology and sustain people into higher states using like the high tech end and psychedelics and all the weirdness. But yeah, that's it. Thank you. And I look forward to talking to you. Once again, I probably won't be here next week. I'm remote viewing at the Monroe Institute. And so if you watched it and you made it to the video, thank you very much. And I'll talk to you when I get back. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Have a good one.